This cherry-topped red velvet cheesecake will not only have you falling head over heels in love with it, but it will also leave you craving for more. Allow me to share this holiday best recipe with you. So with that being said, let's get started. The ingredients that we're going to need are 1.5 cups of vegetable oil, 1 ounce of red food coloring, 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of buttermilk, as well as 2 large eggs, 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of salt, as well as 1 tablespoon of baking powder. For our utensils, we're going to need a bowl, a strainer, and a mixer. Taking the flour, granulated sugar, cocoa powder, baking powder, and salt, adding it to the strainer, we're going to sift through all of the ingredients. Sifting is really important to eliminate any lumps. Adding the vegetable oil to the mixture, buttermilk, eggs, red food coloring, and pure vanilla extract. Using our mixer, we're going to combine all of the ingredients together. After everything is incorporated, set the batter aside and taking 2 non-stick 9-inch baking pans, add the batter to the pans, filling each pan halfway, place into your preheated 350-degree oven and allow the cakes to bake for about 30 to 35 minutes. Insert a toothpick to make sure that it comes out clean. Allowing the cakes to remain in the pan and cool for about 15 minutes, taking a wire rack, invert the cakes onto the rack and allow it to cool completely. Moving on to preparing the cheesecake. Let's start by preheating our oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Placing a large roasting pan on the third rack of the oven, we're also going to place a small pot or kettle of water on the stovetop to boil. For our cheesecake preparation, we're going to need 1/3 cup of sour cream, 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla extract, 2/3 cups of sugar, 1/3 cup of heavy cream, 2 eggs, and 2 8-ounce packages of room temperature cream cheese. Adding the cream cheese to a bowl and using a mixer, we're going to blend the cream cheese until it becomes soft. When the cream cheese becomes soft, we're going to add the granulated sugar and continue mixing until both ingredients are thoroughly combined. Now that everything is combined, we're going to add 1 egg at a time, thoroughly mixing each addition. After all of the eggs are incorporated, let's put the mixer away, adding the sour cream, buttermilk, and pure vanilla extract, and using a spatula, we're going to incorporate all of the ingredients. Using a 9-inch baking pan, or preferably a 9-inch spring foam pan. I use the word preferably when it comes to using a spring foam pan because it's so much easier to remove the cheesecake once it's finished baking from the spring foam pan. If using a spring foam pan, we're going to wrap the bottom and the sides with aluminum foil, preventing any spillage. Adding the cheesecake mixture to either pan, using our spatulas, we're going to smooth out the cheesecake batter. Tapping the pan against the countertop a couple times to make sure the batter levels out evenly. When the cheesecake is leveled out, awaiting to go into the oven, this is what it should look like. Setting the pan into the roasting pan while our oven is preheated at 325 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to carefully pour hot water into the roasting pan until it surrounds the cheesecake. We're going to pour enough water until it's about 1 inch of water coming up along the sides of the cheesecake pan. We're going to allow the cheesecake to bake for 45 minutes. After 45 minutes of baking, the cheesecake should be now set. We're going to remove the cheesecake from the roasting pan and allow it to cool for about 1 hour. After 1 hour, we're going to place the cheesecake into the freezer, allowing it to freeze for a few hours. Now that everything is cool and frozen, we're going to move on to making the cream cheese frosting. I've added 1 8-ounce room temperature package of cream cheese to a bowl, and using a mixer, we're going to blend the cream cheese until it becomes smooth and creamy. Adding half a stick of unsalted butter, we're going to continuously mix until both ingredients are incorporated. Adding 1.5 cups of confectioner's sugar and continuously mixing. Be sure to use a spatula to scrape down the sides of the bowl. We're also going to add 2 tablespoons of pure vanilla extract. Let's start by assembling the cake. Taking one velvet cake, placing it top side down, exposing the smooth surface. Next, removing the cheesecake and centering it on top of the velvet cake, remembering to remove the parchment paper from the top of the cheesecake. Using a sharp knife, remove the rounded surface from the velvet cake. Be sure to save what you remove so you can use it as a form of decoration for your cheesecake when it's completed. Measuring up all 3 cakes, using a knife to remove any excess pieces. Going to apply a thin crumb coat layer of frosting to the cake. Placing the cake into the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, allowing the frosting to harden. After 30 minutes, we're going to apply more frosting. Using the pieces that I removed from the velvet cake, I'm going to be using it as decoration, along with a few cherries. As always, thanks to Cooking with Tammy. Definitely subscribe to stay updated, and most of all, enjoy.